Hi, everyone. It's Norman Kochenak here I'm here to talk to you about cricket, of course, on Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochenak. We're here, double header of men's cricket. That is, of course, both the India versus Sri Lanka match, which is being held in Mohali in northern India, where, of course, India are in the ascendancy, with India now a rate for 574 declared, with Jadeja's magnificent 175 not out. And then, of course, Sri Lanka have had some 43 overs to bat. They've been it for a fair while, but they've only scored 108 runs and they've lost 4 wickets. So their situation is a bit dire there for Sri Lanka. India are in ascendancy, though. So effectively, Sri Lanka still trailed by 466 runs, and they've got 76 weeks left on day 3. And that match seems to be very much in India's favour. Hi, Kishore Chowdhury, fan from Jodhpur. I've been to Jaipur, I've been to Jodhpur, I think I may have been to Jodhpur. So Sri Lanka are 466 runs behind, and they've got 6 wickets in hand. Admittedly, they've got some reasonable batsmen there, but it doesn't look very promising for them at all. That's the one match which will be starting in only a matter of some 14 minutes. Then, of course, some hour later, in fact, no, it won't be an hour later. I think it's going to be only about half an hour later. I think that the next match has actually been brought forward because of bad light yesterday. So Pakistan and Australia in Pindi, as in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. Australia only had to face the one. I'm going to get to the women's match actually, Kishore as well. And Pakistan were 4 for 476 declared, with, of course, Ashraf Ali with 185 and Imam Ul Haq with 157, and Australia 9 for 5 after only 1 over. In fact, it was Sajid Khan, the spinner. So not much to Australia, so 471 in a rear to go there. But yes, the match that probably is currently being played is between India and Pakistan in New Zealand, in a place called Mount Maunganui. And that's the 4th match of the Cricket World Cup of 2022 Women's ICC. And of course, India won the toss and chose to bat in that match. And India are now 6 for 177 currently after 41.4 overs, which is pretty reasonable run rate for women's cricket at 4.24. Smriti Mandana got 52. Dipti Sharma got 40. At the moment, Shnee Rana is on 24, and Pooja Frustraka is on 36, more than run a ball. So it's a pretty healthy partnership. That last partnership is what is it now? It's on 14, so it's 160 or 66 odd runs. It's pretty healthy. And of course, in the Pakistan team, Nida Dar, who's a good friend of mine, has taken 2 weeks, got the wicket of Harmanpreet Kaur for 5 and Richard Ghosh for 1, who's keeping. I would prefer to have the other keeper there, who was really, Richard Ghosh is not bad. Tanya Bhatia, I would have him. That would be my keeper. Shahali, Mithali, and Harman flopped. Yeah, they did. They're still hanging in there. They've got 182. If they get still got 8 overs to go, the run rate's sort of 4.33. They could be looking at 230, which is not a great score, but it's not a bad score either. It's up to Pakistan to bat well to get that situation changing. So that's the current state of play. We've got some domestic cricket in Australia, and Namibia playing Oman, but there's not a lot going on of any great note. West Indies, obviously, in England are playing down the track. Today, rain is forecasted for Pakistan and Australia test. Is that right, Sarah? Well, I haven't heard any reports yet as to weather, and I will have a look at that. I'm not seeing any. They're not saying there's no commentary about the weather at all at this point. So play will start 10 minutes early, not half an hour early, on day 3 at 9:50 a.m. local time. That's 3:50 my time. So that's a bit of a weird time. Why only give them 10 minutes? It's hardly worth noting. Your subscribers increased rapidly in the last few days. Keep going up the Rabbitohs. Thank you, Awais Sharif from Queensland. Yes, Rabbitohs, of course, Sasni Rabbitohs guys who think Irish from Pakistan, India don't know that yet. I'm a mad Sasni Rabbitohs fan for many decades. They're really good. and I think will go well this year as well. Frozzy, currently clear here in Pindi. Well, there you go. You wouldn't know. You're there. So, yeah, and it's going to be, yeah, I don't know what the weather forecast is coming. Very interesting. It's either completely clear or raining. It's no in between. So, yeah, I think 10 minutes early that match is starting between Pakistan's. I just thought, why not make it half an hour or even an hour? When 10 minutes is hardly worth all the effort. It doesn't really gain much. It's probably a couple of overs. So no, I think they would be better off starting a bit early, at least half an hour. Make it a reasonable time frame to do that in. Yeah. So Pakistan 4 for 476 declared. Quite a significant declaration, really. Declaring after only losing 4 wickets is pretty damn strong. So yeah, it doesn't look. Be interesting to see how Australia handled the situation. Can Bhuvi back in the Test team for India? Well, he's lost his central contract, hasn't he? He's not as strongly regarded. How much will Australia score today? Your prediction? My prediction is they won't get more than 300. I reckon they're going to be struggling to get more than 300. I reckon they'll get 280. Honestly, I mean, one batsman will fire, some will get a largish 100, but the rest will not do well. I don't think Warner, Labuschagne, Head, Cam Green, and even C. Smith won't go that well. It'll be left to someone like Kawaja to hold an end and do well. Today's the IPL schedules released. Is that right? Rather interesting. The IPL is only a matter of weeks away, which will be. It's always exciting with now 10 teams. It's quite a positive situation indeed. So in England women's now, there's 6 for 188 and 43 overs. Have they lost another wicket? I think they may have lost another wicket. Let's have a look. Now, Pujar's there on 40 and Snead Rana's on 31. And they've still got to bat. But Nathali Raj, I got 9. Pakistan are doing commendably well. Let's hope that it's a close match and a bit of excitement towards the end. But yeah, the India-Sri Lanka match, it looks very, very one-sided. Please let me know whenever you are back in Brizzy, Goldie, Sunshine for a visit. Would love to catch up for lunch and dinner. Okay, I was sharp. Go back to the Brisbane Saints, my old club there. In fact, I was president of the Brisbane Saints Cricket Club there in Brisbane for a few years. Created the first honour boards there, which I'm proud of. Who will become vice captain in all IPL teams? Well, KL Rahul was touted as being the one. Bumrah's currently the vice captain of the Test side. I may go for someone like Trey, so I could also be, even if Samson gets to go, there's a lot of possible vice captains. That's not. It's usually have a leadership group rather than just simply a vice captain. I like that more than anything else. All right, so we've got some 7 minutes before the match starts between India and Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka are not in a good situation at all. They're 4 for 108 with Charit, Asalanka, and Pathum Nisanka, who's first drop. He's on 26. He's already scored a century. He's averages 45. He's not looking too bad. Charit Asalanka hasn't quite. He's played 2 matches. Hasn't played much. Ashwin, 432 wickets. Jadeja, 233. So between them, 665 wickets. Pretty damn good. One with 85 tests, one with 58. And Ashwin is now. Let's see where Ashwin is in terms of statistics. He's right up there. He's probably very close to the top 10. He wouldn't be very far from the top 10, actually. Let's have a look. Actually, I had it with quick info when they jumped down the most wickets in the career. There we are. Well, Ashwin is currently 3, 6. So 10 is. Yeah, so Ashwin is actually now has gone past Richard Hadley and has moved into 11th spot. So we have Murali, obviously the recently deceased Shane Warne, who played 15 years ago for Charlotte, by the way. So we have Murali, Warne 2, Anderson 3, Kumble 4, McGrath 5, Broad 6, Walsh 7, 8 is Stain, Kapil Dev is 9, 10 is Herat, and 11 now is Ashwin. He's on 432. He gets 3 more wickets and he'll go past Kapil Dev. and move into 9th spot overall ever. It's pretty impressive. Nathan Lyon, of course, is there as well. He's currently, has he gone past Wilson Macron? I think, yeah, I don't know. Has he gone past? He has. So Nathan Lyon was 11, 12, 13, 14. He's gone to 15. He's actually, Oz Macron's got 414 tests because now Lyon has 416. So he's effectively now 15th in the list. Good morning, sir. Aussie's 500,000. Good day. 500. Are you talking about 500 runs, 500 test runs? Is that the K or 500,000? You mean? I don't know. I don't think they're going to get that many. Defeating India in a test series, India will be biggest achievement than winning the WCC final at present. We'll try to do that in 2023. Yeah, well, let's show it, JL. I'm not even sure. Australia's a long way off from now, and I think Australia is building nicely, but they're still a way off. Will Pat Cummins still be captain there? That's even a better question. When will the captaincy announcement for RCB? Well, good question. You'd think it'd happen sooner rather than later. Why exactly did Shane Warne die? That's a good question. I heard it was a blood stain, and he had the pain before he had the heart attack. There's interesting developments there. We're not going to hear the truth for the full story at least for a while. Mitchell Stark's way down the list on 274. He's ahead of Bish and Batty just now, but he's played 67 test matches. Lions 106. Ashwin 85 test matches, and he's already an 11th spot. He's very likely to go under, I would say, he'll end his career probably in the top 5. 3, 4, 5, yeah. With McGrath on at 563. You would think if Ashwin plays long enough, he'll go into the top 5 of all-time bowlers. Right, yeah, rest in peace, Shane Warne. We've heard a lot about it. A lot of my videos, have you seen my videos? I've done a lot of videos on referencing to that. Drawn match, big runs, Smith and Marnus and Travis today. I don't think Travis will get runs, that's my honest opinion. I think Marnus will struggle. Smith may get some. I'm backing Kawaja to get the most of the runs. So there we have it. 3 minutes before the India-Pakistan match starts. India-Pakistan. Well, that's happening now. The women's, that is, of course. So we've got India, Sri Lanka, which is rather. So India women currently are 6 for 190, are sort of virtually 44 overs. And Pooja Vastraka, 41 snare run, 32, have certainly held up a good end there. With Fatima Saina and Nashra Sandhu bowling at the moment. And Nashra Sandhu's taken 2 weeks off her 9 overs. Yeah, to a score of 6 for 192 after 44, with 6 overs left. They're looking at around the score of 230 mark. Will be quite. Hello, Paul Newman. How are you? Where are you, Paul? Are you in England or in Australia? I think you're in England, aren't you? Where are you? I keep forgetting. Where are you? Of course, Australia-Pakistan will be on in under an hour now because it starts in 10 minutes earlier. It's a nice Sunday. Well, not here in Sydney. It's raining like all cats and dogs. Not feeling the best. Tested positive for COVID. Oh, that's no good, Paul Newman. That's not good at all. Well, you can rest up and just watch a bit of cricket. Cough and splutter while you're watching cricket. That's probably the way to go. Where are you, Paul? Tell me where you are exactly. I had COVID in early January. Missed out on the Sydney test. You're in Sydney. You're in Sydney, Paul. Okay. Yeah, I missed out on the Sydney test early January because of COVID. It was very upsetting for me to spend all that time waiting to play and then not being able to bloody well go watch the test match because of COVID. It's very annoying. I'm watching some amazing videos now of Warne going back over time. I'm taking them more seriously, I guess, is the right way of looking at it, because he's now no longer here. So anything you see of him is gold, because he's quite frankly. And
that's the key. Was it's how.
Talking to Wasim Akram was talking to Kerry O'Keefe. There's a bit of a discussion going on there, I'd say. Yeah, Wasim Akram's there talking to. Wasim Akram could well be another England or even Australia. Well, Maka Yunus is normally located in Sydney as well. So, Paul, what suburb are you in? Paul Newman, what suburb are you in Sydney? Because I'm in Coogee. I think I told you that. It's my suburb. All right, so we should have a start here for India versus Sri Lanka. Really, any minute now. I would have thought that that's remembering Shane Warne's scenario is still on. We want to see some cricket though, don't we? Here we go, India Sri Lanka. Here we go. There it is there. Mohammad Shami's coming into bowl now. It's not a full stadium, which I'm a bit disappointed. Near Parramatta. Oh, there you go. Ice Bindra Stadium. Mohammad Shami coming into bowl. Sri Lanka is on 1 after 12 balls. The Sun's been in longer for 26 or 75. Ashton looks to be loosening up. Sri Lanka could well be out for a couple of hundred, and that puts them back in the bat for sure. They won't reach the follow-on mark, and this could be over in a day or so. I don't think Sri Lanka's going to last that long. India's bowlers are raring to go. Smith from good Aussie team chance to series all points. Yeah, Steve Smith is absolutely due, but you know, it's going to be hard on this week. People don't be fooled by the way that Pakistan have batted so well at 185 and 157 between both Imam Al Haq and Azhar Ali. It's going to be a lot more difficult than that. And we saw the way that Rizwan and Walike struggled when they came in the bat towards that moment. Iftikhar and Rizwan, they suffered. They were not suffered, but they struggled. They weren't fluent at all. And 20 minutes play Pakistan and Australia, you reckon 20 minutes? I think it's a lot more than that. We'll make the same. So Mahali doesn't look that different to Rawalpindi, does it? Very similar pitch, maybe slightly greener, the one that's in Mahali, whereas the track in Rawalpindi is certainly pretty flat. Yeah, I don't know whether Steve Smith's going to fight back. Well, we'll see. Let's just see. I'm not being negative deliberately. I think it's all about how things pan out. Sri Lanka here, who's normally bats at the first drop, he's batting quite low in the order. He's facing Mohammad Shami. Yes, don't forget India got a massive for 574, thanks to greatly to Jadeja and Punt, both getting substantial scores, 175 and 90, 96, 95. Rahul Dravid's on the pitch there. It looks very similar. Mahali looks very, very similar to the ground that we've had at Rawalpindi. So Sri Lanka's has taken a run there. He's the mark for the morning. Sri Lanka moves on to 2. And the Sanka is on 26. The score's gone to 110 for 4. Still mammothly behind, 460 odd runs. So looking down the first day 3 pitch, there's a bit of breaking up going on towards the end. It looks slightly more wear and tear than what we're seeing in Rawalpindi, but still pretty flat. Don't know the way that Rahul Dravid's just putting his foot there. Norman, for second test, Australia must pick Swepson because Pakistan struggle against leg spin and Lyon again struggle. I think he likes or no. I would go for Agar ahead of Swepson, to be honest with you. He deserves it more. So you don't know how you caught it. And you're touching something. Maybe you touched the counter or something. Shami has not taken. He's done for 9 into his 8th over. Number 19 off his 8th over. Rishabh Pant, bit of a dive there. Who will win the battle between Shaheen and Warner? I think Shaheen. Stark not playing next test. Is that, where have you heard that? It may well be, if that is the case. It will be based on the fact that they'll bring another spinner and they'll have to relinquish one of the pace bowlers. And Hayes was bowling too well, and Cummins is captain, so that only leaves one choice really start. There's Ramesh Ratnayaka, good old mate of mine. I used to organise tours with him around Sri Lanka over a number of years. Yes, so Sri Lanka are 110 for 4. So when are we saying Australia need to bat well today for a draw? Yeah, it's a big ask. It's a really, really big ask. I know we have to wait until the side bats. I get that thought process. I get that. But I actually think that it's going to be a lot more difficult than where we're seeing evidence of so far. So Charit Asalanka, Visanka, very, very Sri Lankan names. Lanka, Sanka, Asanka. There's all very typically there. No way they can win. No way Australia can win. No, I don't think so. Hey, sir. Good morning, sir. Here, Jadeja should have been given at least 5 overs the chance to score 200. Maybe, but they had to eventually declare at some stage. They should declare when he just got 100, let alone 125. So no, I wouldn't say that. Drawback, Clark, Starks, Swepson. I think it'll be more. Could be Boland, yeah, but I think it will be actually Agar. When will Mitch Swepson get his debut match? It's been a long wait. It has been a long wait, but he's just simply. I just don't think he's good enough. I don't know. If he was that good, he would have been in the side as quickly as Warren was, but he isn't. Let's be honest. He's not a Shane Warne. He's had stress fractures of the upper back as well. Intriguing how a leg spinner can have stress fractures of the upper back. It's a bit weird. Something's wrong with his action to him to have had that problem. Pace bowling, I understand they have it on their shins because of the sheer effort. So Ravi Chandra Ashwin has taken up the other end from Shami. Ashwin is now 11th highest ranked Test wicket taker. A couple more wickets, he's into 9th very quickly. He's only a couple away from Kapil Dev. I think Australia can score 400 for Shafik. I'm doubting that. I reckon they'll be struggling at 300. I'm saying 280. Agar definitely bats better than Swepson, that's for sure. But I think he bowls well too. Now, it's interesting how I think Asalanka may have just been dropped by Salimidov. Would have one hell of a catch. Ashton, my best Sweps, good mix. Ashton and Agar will get a Guernsey before Swepson, I'm pretty sure. So let's see what happened there. Yeah, it was dropped. Very hard catch though. It was dropped. But I think Rohit Sharma, was it Rohit Sharma? Yeah, Rohit Sharma dropped it. Not an easy catch. David won a 400 making. I'd like to think so, but I'm not sure. Stark in not a good form. Had a performance in the Ashes as well. Yeah, well, they actually reckon he bowled well in the Ashes. But Shane, one of all people, he comes up in my mind immediately, was quite scathing of Stark prior to the Ashes series, but he bowled a bit better than that. Bowling for Stark next game, possibly Paul Newman, or more so Agar. Any overrated cricketers in terms of the Australian scene? Oh, Travis Head, I know he did well. He got a couple of centuries there, but I'm not a big fan of his. Labuschagne, we haven't seen fail in return. Matthew Wade, well, he's not in the squad, but he shouldn't be considered. Alex Carey, Josh English is in the squad there as well. Alex Carey's got to score runs as well, and he's not doing that. He hasn't done it as of yet. Because Josh English is known to score runs, so there's a few weaknesses in the Australian side. Quick runs, Warner today, Green needs. Okay. I'm expecting Kawaja to go, well, he scored a 4 in our first over last night. Dave Warner, we know, can do well, but he hasn't in good form. And he'll get a bit frustrated on this week because it won't be that easy. It won't be. They're going to look at the two scores of Azhar Ali 185 and Imam Al Haq 157 think it's easy. But be careful. Evidenced by Rizwan and Iftikhar yesterday, then they struggled to get the ball off the centre wicket. Why Australia is not able to produce another good leg spinner, even though the world best is from there? Good question. I think they've got a great leg spinner in Agar, sorry, what's his name? Adam Zampa. I think he should be playing Test cricket. I don't know why he's not. It's beyond me. He seems to be pigeonholed to the short foot version. He bowls very well there. He can also be a good Test bowler. So they have produced him, and Adam Zampa certainly has taken off. Labuschagne and Dave Warner and even Steve Smith all have emulated Shane Warne, and they haven't quite mastered. Vikas Bishnoi, what do you think? Will we see a result of this match draw on the cards? Now, we're talking about the Australia-Pakistan match. This all depends on how Australia bats today. But I think we will get a result. The India-Sri Lanka match it's destined for an Indian victory, without any doubt. West Indies versus England Test Series starting on March 8th. Yeah, that's not far away. That's correct. Shami's bowled a very good delivery, but yeah, rather Stanford bat. It's an interesting batting partner. Zampa missed Australian Test side, big miss Australia. I think Zampa should have been included ahead of Schwepson, to be honest. Sri Lanka seems to be pretty solid there. Commentary is Harsha Borgley, Sunil Gavaskar, and Russell Arnold. I certainly know Russell Arnold very well. I've met Harsha Borgley on occasions. Sunil Gavaskar, unfortunately, I've not had much to do with him, so I can't talk that I know, but Russell Arnold knows him. Big time. Russell Arnold still looks pretty fit to me. He's a good character. Aussie's great team. Are they really, Sajid Kazi? I'm not sure. Let's wait and see. Your views and teams prefer IPL over national duties. Well, they're trying to mix the two up. We have to respect that it is a financially successful part of it. And they are playing the test matches before. Some of the one days, 2 days are not. I grant that. You know, when Asian pitchers are good spinners, they should be. We should be able to bowl well on Asian pitchers, anyone. Your views on team, I've mentioned that just a minute ago. And would you ever meet Shane Warne in person? Paul Newman, I met Shane Keith Warne many times in the media box for about 15 years in all the Australian locations, a few times in England. He and I would have a chat in the lifts. Well, I didn't socialise with him outside of the grounds, but he was a very engaging. When he bothered to engage with you, if you knew him, if you got to know him, he engaged with you fully, and he really gave you his attention. He's a real character around the media box. I had a funny story where my now ex-wife, who was Sri Lankan, was at the back of the media box plugging in her phone charge because she wanted to plug her phone in, and he saw her and he came over to me. Someone had given him the information that it was my wife. So he came over to me, Paul, and he said, "Hey, hang on, is that your wife over there?" I said, "Yes, it is." Okay, he walked off. Simple question. Maybe half an hour later, he came over to me again. She went back to the phone. He said, "Oh, that one there, that girl there, is that your wife?" I said, "Yeah, I've told you last time. Yeah, it's my wife." Okay. He did it a third time. I said, "Shane, are you not listening to me?" He said, what do you need to know? Oh, it's pretty good looking. He basically admitted to the fact that he was keen. Like, look at it. He then went shortly after to a Thai girl who was making coffee inside the venue and said, "What are you doing tonight?" Everybody heard, everybody laughed. So he was in the mood to chat up women on that particular day, and he ended up meeting up with a Libyan Syrian woman or something and went out with her that night. That's what the last I'd heard. But he was a character. Nothing was harmful what he was saying, but he was very open and up front. He'd get into a lift and the whole lift would be centered on his attention. If the Richie Benos or Tony Greggs would walk in the room, or Ian Botham or anyone, and they saw Warne, they would all want to attempt to talk to Warne. Warne was very popular. There's few men that I've come across that had that. Bradman certainly had that aura. Richie Benaud did. Ian Botham to an extent did. And of course, Tendulkar did. But Warne was another one. Everybody hovered towards him. And Viv. They're the ones where ex-cricketers, current cricketers, administration people, anyone, all hovered towards. And this Pied Piper aspect where they'd follow whatever he did, or he had an event, they'd all go like because he was on running it. Shane Rowdy life, 52. Yeah, it's pretty. He had a great life, and he almost looked like he played. Maybe India will win today. I think right, there's a good chance. Why are we not seeing leg spinners in Test cricket? We will more. I think Sampa's got to eventually get a Guernsey. So Sri Lanka and Nissanka, they're defending pretty well. Murali shocked Sri Lankan media that best friends Shane Warne. Yeah, Shane Warne had a pretty good relationship. I've got a framed picture of them both signed about their records, which I'm pretty proud of. I've got 2 of them actually. I guess you met Rod Marsh as well. Yes, I did. I remember Rod Marsh was an idol of mine from my young days when I was 10. I had the luxury of meeting most of that side. Actually, I've interviewed Paul on TV Arcana and this channel. I've interviewed out of the 74 team. well, Johnny Dyson wasn't there then, but Ian Davis was close to that. There's two. I've also interviewed the likes of, who am I thinking of? Dennis Lilly, Jeff Thompson, Ashley Mallett, Dougie Walters, Greg Chappell, Ian Chappell. Rod, I did an interview that I had discussions with him on occasion. So yes, I knew them well. Even Gary Gilmore in the early days. Then I was younger, I saw them as well. I was at a cricket ground called the Village Green in University of New South Wales. I was 10 years old. Doug Walters was playing for Cumberland, which is Parramatta, and they were playing against New South Wales. And he was there, and I'm just walking past and watching the game. I don't know who Doug Walters is. And he said, "Hey, young fella, do you want to score?" I said, "Sure." I thought, "Oh, that sounds exciting." So I'm putting the numbers on the scoreboard as the score was being scored. And I'm watching this man, who ended up being Doug Walters, smoking, playing cards, having a drink, and about to go at the bat, and as casual as anything, and just engaging. And I'll never forget that day. And now, having interviewed him several times since, and I'm calling a friend, I can call Doug up and invite him over. And he's been on my show. You've seen videos. In fact, Paul, have you gone through the videos and had a look? You should have a look. Okay, I've got videos there of all these players I've all interviewed. Doug Walters, Jim Maxwell as well, and another person of great interest. When Yashir Shah debuted, I believe his style was close to Shamrock. Oh, no doubt he modelled himself somewhat on that. And Fergus Shah, I don't know what's happened to Yashir Shah. He's a great bowler. Samant Shastri's here. How are you? No matches between countries during IPL. That's no issue for national duties. It shouldn't be, but it's leading up to it. They're going a bit early. Sri Lanka both have been dropped in 4 overs. Yeah, there's been, that was just a catch there I just saw, dropped. The one that Rohit Sharma dropped was pretty bloody hard. I could rue those drops. Sharma's going nuts there. I was a bit too leg side. I love the way you read newspaper and streaming old style reporting. Yeah, thank you for that. Samant Shafri, I did one earlier today about that. Tsunami helped Sri Lanka back, showing more or less came together because of the tsunami. Yeah, that's true. I'll have a look. Paul, if you go back, I've interviewed Jeff Thompson on a number of occasions, both on my channel on TV Arcana. TV Arcana at Regent's Park, not far from Parramatta. It's a Pakistani channel, actually. Worked for them quite a bit. So I've done, I interviewed 30 people on TV Arcana. Greg Chappell, Andy Bickle, Adam Holyoke, Monty Panesar, Barry Knight, a whole host of other players. Go and have a look. How much of India will take the lead? Well, I'm predicting Australia will get 280. That's what I'm predicting. That's my score prediction. Australia will be all out for 280, and that'll be today. So they'll be leading quite substantially. It'll be a good 160 odd in front. And they may, I'm not sure on the bat for. It's difficult for any batsman to face Ashwin in India. Absolutely true. Look at his record. He's now 11th best wicket taker in the world. Did Panadol help when you had COVID normally? Yes, it did. Psychologically, at least. Your guess for what WTC final teams? I think India again. And won't be New Zealand. There'll probably be India and could be Australia. Or even Pakistan. That was a rather cheeky delivery. It was slower. Okay. We are missing Axar Patel. Yeah, he's been sensational. Again, WTC final will be played in England. No, I don't think so, Sharat. It should be in New Zealand, quite frankly, because that's the team that won. We should have it on that location. Even if New Zealand don't make it, it should be in New Zealand. That's what it should be, if it's done correctly. So I think Sri Lanka can score above the follow-on. No. They'll take one of these catches, they're going to tumble. They're surviving at the moment, but they're not scoring a lot of runs. So no, I don't think they're much chance. Okay, so what's the situation with so Sri Lanka are 4 for 120. They've sort of just chugged along a little bit. What's the story with let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, there is a comment that there's been a large amount of blood found in Shane Warne's room after the CPR, says Thai police. He may have coughed it up. Police in Thailand said that a large amount of blood was found in Shane Warne's room at a villa in Thailand. When CPR was started, the deceased had coughed up liquid and was bleeding. The police added various reports claimed blood stains were seen on the carpet and on 3 towels and a pillow. Warne passed away. It is interesting that's the case. I'm a little bit disturbed about that, to be honest. Let's hope there's nothing untoward going on there. Oh, I didn't think it would be that. Baramarani is yeah. So let's just have a quick look at that situation. Do you think Sri Lanka can score? No, I don't think so. 420. Narosha Dickwell is one that I'd like to see, Volin. Smith should not be in a T20 team. I agree. Smith played T20 when Pax only. I don't think much of him is a T20 player anymore. He doesn't go well in the IPL either. He didn't even get a contract, did he, this year? Okay. So when is this match starting between Australia and Pakistan? Is it now or when is it? It's not telling me when. The report says there's no evidence that it's starting yet. So if it was going to start, it would have started by now. There's no evidence. So I think it is going to be another half an hour away. Do you think WTC should be a little longer event, like 4 teams in the final round? No. I like the winner-take-all attitude of the WTC. I like that. It's a bit more cutthroat, a bit more drama. Make it round robbers like that takes too long. 2 teams, top of the table, in they go. And there might be some drama how they get there. Maybe they've lost points here, lost points there. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And I like that intensity and that tenseness about it. Everything counts. People won't muck up with run rates now, will they? Sri Lanka set of 4. The 4 for 124. Is Ashwin bowled? No. Oh my God. That missed the stumps by an absolute whisker. How did that not bounce over the stumps? You're excited for Aussie batting? Well, I want to see it happen. Good move. You thank you for watching Facebook Pakistan. That's a lot. Oh. So, are you saying that the Pakistan Australia match has actually started? Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. No, it hasn't started. I don't know where the people are getting that from. The only match that started is India versus Sri Lanka. And that's the only one that they're 4 for 125 now. And there hasn't been. Yeah, Warner's going to bat. Aussie chances are very low if they have a tough. Well, let's see. Do you think James Anderson will play Test cricket? Yes, I think Paul will definitely play, and he'll play in England. I think they're going to give him a swan song, both Broad and in England. But I think so. It'd be nice if they did do that. I'm a little bit confused with this statement here about what is this? I'm not sure if this is. I don't think there's much truth behind this. Do you? Okay. Yeah. So the Australia-Pakistan match has not started. And I'll repeat, it has not started. Starting at about another 26 minutes away. They're saying 10 minutes early, which should be starting in 6 minutes, in my opinion. But it doesn't look like that's the case. Yeah, there's no evidence of any play starting there. Yeah, I'm just not sure what's going on regarding this. They're trying to add a bit of drama to the controversy there. So Sri Lanka's on 12 on 37 balls, and Sri Lanka's on 31 off 88. 4.25. There's still 449 in arrears. Finch replacement for Roy for Gujarat. Okay, interesting. Vekash Boshnoi. So he's at 640 wickets currently. Who are we talking about? 640 wickets. You're talking about James Anderson, yeah. He's got a chance to go a bit higher, but I don't think he'll play more than a couple of games this summer, and it'll be his swan song. That's what I think is going to take place there. So let's have a look at this. They said 10 minutes earlier, which sounds bizarre. There's still no sign of any start to the Australia-Pakistan match. In the women's, they've actually finished the 40 overs pretty handsomely, with Sneha Rana getting 53. There were 7 for 244, with Pooja Vestraka getting 67 and Sneha Rana getting 53. 7 for 244 is a pretty good total actually in the end, with Pakistan yet to bat. So they'll be up against Pakistan to get that 244, I would argue. Although, it's been a good game. I mean, Bangladesh gave South Africa a good run in the women's World Cup match, but South Africa came out in the end. Unfair for Jimmy. Well, Jimmy Anderson can't be called unfair because, let's be honest, he's played well beyond any other player in terms of he's bowled more than any other fast bowler in terms of games, matches, what have you. So, yeah, really sad for Shane. Well, every time I think about it, it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? We're going to really miss him. As England's season comes on, he's a major commentator there. He's a major commentator in Australia. We used to see him on Foxtel. Yeah, it's pretty sad indeed. Anderson's nearly 40, exactly. So he should have finished 5 years ago. So he's still playing now. Well, I'm not feeling sorry for him, but he needs to go out on top when he needs to go on his own terms. If he's been dropped, which I think is temporary, I think he'll get a go, but he needs to not do that to him. He shouldn't be allowing it get to the point where they actually are forced to drop him, which is not a good way to finish your career. You don't want to be dropped after having played for so long and been so successful. Shane Warne did it perfectly. He left it on the top. His life has been led to the highest. He died young, left a legacy that no one could ever match. So we never another Shane Warne. James Anderson, if he goes too long and peters out and just gets dropped and not picked, that's not the ending for James Anderson. He should be going on a high. He should have went on a high probably last summer in England. But if he goes out on a high, hopefully he might be given one or two token test matches in England. He and Broad have a swan song and goodbye and go. I think that has to be the way it's done now. The fact that he's not in the West Indies was a bit of a smack in the pants for him. Left on a high. Yeah, we need. Don't want to drop him. You want to go. McGrath also went on a high. Just like a head between the two of them. I think he went. Ian Chappell was very scathing at Justin Langer, saying he's not a legend, and I kind of agree. Good player. So Asalanka's on 12, and Sanka's on 31. Rohit Sharma's, is that Rohit Sharma? No, it's Mohammed Shami's off getting his fingers taped. Maybe a ball hit him. I think he may have dropped a catch. He's one of the ones that dropped a catch. This Sanka looks pretty good, and Ash looks shocked. Well, he's just been hit for 4, hasn't he? Pathum and Sanka looks like a good little bat. He was opening in the T20 tournament in Australia, looked pretty promising, and he's now dropped to number 3 in the order and is looking pretty good. He seems to be cheekily trying to. He's done a good job. He got Ashwin off the stumps actually and popped him around, and it was pretty successful. Jimmy is legend that he's not what he dropped. Yeah, right, 140. The reality is he's pushing his luck for being potentially dropped. Well, he has been dropped. He and Broad did not get picked on the tour to the West Indies. They were both livid. And they may make their way back into the England side for the summer season. But that's it. They should go out on a high. Okay, so how are we going now? We've got, time-wise, we've still got 50 minutes before the Australia-Pakistan match starts, by the way. And Nissanka said another 4. He's confidently batting there. So Pakistan women's team are yet to go into bat to try to chase down a score of 244. They're looking pretty good, but they let those two lower order batsmen, in fact, the batsman batting at 2, 4, 6. Their number 7 and 8 got 53 and 67, which is a bit disappointing, to be honest. Neither I got 2 for 45. Nashra Sandy got 236. Sana was a bit expensive. Anna Bag, who's normally the bowler. They all took wickets though. Now they've got, of course, in the Pakistan team, they've got Javira Khan, who's a good bat. Bisman Ruth, the captain. Nita Dar, some good players there. They've got potential to get the score. Put it that way. The Sunker. Well, they kept low. All right, now, so we are trying to wait for us to start. Well, the innings break in the women's. Why they describe Ashraf Ali was the ungainly, unappreciated world of Ashraf Ali. And he's got 6,900 test runs, 19 centuries, and scored an effortless 185. He's been very underrated, very, very, very underrated. Okay, so we're waiting on Pakistan versus Australia. We are looking at, I'm going to guess now, so there should be some commentary to come out about that. So 9:15 a.m. Yeah, there's mention of it starting. There are some pictures from Brian Murgatroyd. Time for pitch watch. Brian Murgatroyd sent a picture of the pitch. Brian Murgatroyd sent pictures of the pitch. Actually, it's interesting. A Sri Lankan Test career. Amazon has hit 93 matches for some 6,360 runs. Jamuth Karan has had 75 tests for 5,482 runs. And Ross Dickwell 46 tests for 2,443. Jan Jaya Silva 39 for 2,473. And Tirumali's got 2,080 runs on 43. But Sanka hasn't quite got there yet. Aslanka's just started. So there's some batting talent. Tickets for India versus Pakistan World Cup 2022 is sold out. Pretty much, yes. Am I shocked? No. Not at all. So, yeah, I think there's expectations there of what we would like. So let's just see if I can. Well, we're waiting on this start finish. I'm very frustrated. I wish they would have started 10 minutes early. Is not a true early start. That's not an early start at all. I mean, it's pretty bloody ordinary, really. It can start earlier than that. So the pitch itself, Brian Murgatroyd, who's the media manager, has sent through some pictures on what the pitch looks like on day 3. Looks like it's holding up pretty well. I'm going to post it to my community page. Pitch day 3. Rawalpindi. There you go, guys. You can have a look at pitch day 3 Rawalpindi. Have a look at that. India now 4 for 134, and Bumrah's coming into bowl. He's taken a wicket, and Nisanka, he looks damn good. He's just cut him beautifully. Has moved on to 43, so that's pretty impressive. Pretty short ball and nicely put away by Nisanka, Pakistan, two brother countries. Oh, I would agree. There's a fair bit of brotherhood going between those countries there. Any cricketing nation, when you get on a bus or on a train or anywhere in Australia and you have a chat to someone and they say they're from Pakistan, you go, oh, cricket comes straight to mind. You want to have a chat to them about that and what do you think of this and what do you think of that? And another view of the pitch here. Rawalpindi. We're looking at hashtag Pack the Oz. There we are. Okay. Sanka's on 43, so he's doing pretty well. Fourth 138. He did that first drop down, I forget. So he's been there for a while, since the first week it fell. 43 been fairly measured batting. What about Warner reels on Indian songs? It's very funny. Yeah, his reels are funny, but I wish he would concentrate on batting well at the moment. I think winning the Indian audiences over is well and good, but I think he needs to also consider that he needs to get runs. And he has been a little bit quiet there. Yeah, any truths? I just posted. If you look at my community post, you'll see that I post quite often there. And just had a bit of a thing there about that whole saga with Warren with a bit of blood being found. It'll be a draw. And but who are you thinking? Australia versus Pakistan? But it's more likely to be a draw if Australia bat well. Yes, Australia will need to get around 400 at least if they have a hope for drawing this game. I agree, and I'm predicting, and I'll quote myself right here and now, that I don't think Australia will get more than 280 in this innings. It's my feeling. It's not because they're not good. It's just they're underdone. They've had no practice matches. They're going in rather, half-baked. Yeah, and that's not good. England did the same thing when they came to Australia. They were half-baked. They were on the back foot immediately. South Africa, when they played against New Zealand, first test, they got smashed. That's what happens if you don't prepare. Huh? Yeah, it is an issue. It is an absolute issue. With the pre-match talk discussions there, you got some. Yeah, there's a fair bit going on. Okay, so don't worry, Orner, Smith, Marnus, Khawaja is enough for Pakistan bowling attack. Khawaja, certainly, yes, he's in form, and I think he'll be the right one. I'm not sure the rest, to be honest. I'm Azad Misra from Pakistan. Thank you for showing the love of Australia. I'm so sad about Shane Warne. He's a big loss. It is a big loss. Huge loss. Huge, huge, huge loss. Now, this game is going to start in 13 minutes' time, if the reports are correct. This is Australia versus Pakistan. Sri Lanka and India are well and truly underway. They're 4-1. 40 haven't taken a wicket this morning. And their Sanka's looking very good. Aslanka's hanging in there. But they're 400 plus behind. Row at 140 caps. I'm guessing that's what that person's abbreviation is, but I don't know. Let's ask him. The person's called Row at 140. Why are you calling yourself Row at 140? I'm guessing that's how many caps you get. I don't know either. So we're just looking at sort of quick info stats are saying. There's still no sign of any start. There's some Ashwin's carrying like a pork chop. He's Sri Lanka, and they're asking whether he was out. He's using uppercase. What's that got to do with it? What's the uppercase? What's happening, Paul Miriam? So Sri Lanka, have they gone upstairs for hit? That's the call. Let's have a look. Rohit Sharma. And the Sanka's on 45, Sri Lanka's on 13. Sri Lanka fourth 140. I thought it was the carrot ball, that's for sure. And it did spin a bit more than nowhere near. Absolutely nowhere near the stumps. Horrible appeal. That's a horrible one. I was thinking it was Agarwal that went nuts there. No, it was not even worth considering. Imar Khan, welcome. Thank you. So Sri Lanka are hanging in here for the moment. By all accounts, we should have play starting between Australia and Pakistan in 11 minutes if it's not raining. Is it raining in Rawalpindi? I've heard that it's not. It was suggesting that it might, but Norman, hi, Sai Krishna. How are you? It's a long time no see. or here. Does toss play have an effective role? Yes, it certainly does. It's favoured both Pakistan and India respectively in their matches. They're both started with great first innings and they've set the scene beautifully. So there you go. Yeah, so we're looking at 10 minutes away before India, Australia starts. Sorry, India, Australia, Pakistan, Australia. Oh, look at Mahali. It almost looks identical to the ground in Rawalpindi, let's be honest. Both of them, they're not horrendously far away from each other, really. There's a carry ball, and it did spin. It was nowhere near the stumps. It was about a good ball or two away from the stumps. Horrible. Why would you recall that decision? It was nowhere near a chance. Virat Kohli's mimicking where the ball was spinning, but he's not captain, is he? So Nissanka is 49 not out. Sri Lanka 13. Sri Lanka 4th, 144. And it's a good effort from Nissanka. He's looking pretty good. He must be a pretty talented batsman, having been put in the short format of the T20 side and first drop in the Sri Lankan side. They've got high hopes on him, obviously. I'm doing good, thanks. Sorry, Krishna. Good to be back after a long time. Where have you been, Sai Krishna? We've done a lot of things in the meantime. Now this Pakistan series is here with Australia. India are playing Sri Lanka. West Indies about to play England. Women's World Cup's on. It's all happening. The IPL's not far away. PSL just happened. Okay. Still saying stumps. If this plan is correct, they'd be starting in about 9 minutes' time. India versus Sri Lanka, we know we're following that. The Pakistan women have not yet started in their innings, which is a bit unusual. Yeah, but Pakistan, Australia, why they only start 10 minutes earlier? They should have started now. Damn it. It's 20 minutes, 18 minutes. Very, very frustrating. Sri Lanka, 4th, 144. We can see Rahul Dravid just taking his time. Sanjeev Mahanti, hello, how are you? Nice of you to put money down there. Become a member, guys, because I want to make membership a thing that we want to revere and get lots more access, not just to me, to other people. And that ball, geez, what happened there? This like played outside something. Got the edge, but it didn't carry at all. Now, players meant to start in 8 minutes' time there in Rawalpindi. In fact, there isn't any program for the funeral of, people were, I'm very annoyed on social media. We see people putting coffins in photographs and they're saying that the funeral's happening today and here's exclusive footage. Well, he hasn't even been repatriated from Thailand yet. And there'll be a state funeral in Melbourne run by the state government, and there'll be a lot of fanfare in a way. So no, it's not. It'll probably be within a week, I would say. I don't know a date yet, but it's not that soon. The autopsies have occurred. There's a fair bit of conjecture as to his death, and I'm sure they're having to sort all that out first. And the state funeral will take a few days to sort out. It may well be sometime during the week coming up. Okay, so we're not seeing any evidence of any Sri Lanka merrily going on their way. And they have done a venue for WTC final row. It should be a New Zealand location. The first one was at Lords, meant to be Lords, ended up being Southampton, just arbitrarily. And it should follow the winner of the previous World Cup, which was New Zealand. So that's would be a fair thing to assume, even though New Zealand might not make the final. It should be in New Zealand. They won the last, and they have ownership, you could say, of it, and I think that's a fair point. All right, let's have a look here. Live test pre-show. Shaheen Afridi, who's certainly done a lot of damage of late. He looks like he could be a big thing today. Let's have a look. Sanjeev Mahanti. Good on you. Ahmad Verk, what do you think about Pakistani batting? Some saying they played slow. I thought it was absolutely magnificent. Yeah, it was a bit slow, but that's not a problem. They went to bat again. If they bat longer, they could have batted a bit longer. About an hour or two this morning and got well over 500 and then really put Australia under the pump. decided not to do that, fine. But they could easily get Australia. I'm saying Australia will not get any more than 280. And I repeat that. There was a movie showing one on Amazon Prime. There is too. Ironic timing. That was before he passed. Unrelated, of course. Yeah, interesting. I was meant to go to that actually during the summer season at a theatre here in Sydney, but for some reason it was postponed due to COVID. Comment on the approach of Pakistan batters in the first innings. I think it was fantastic. It was classic Test batting. Imam Malak was fantastic. Azhar Ali was fantastic. When Rizwan and Iftikhar came in, they probably didn't push on as they would like. It's fine. And Kidron as well. That's good. The thing is that I think Pakistan's batting was superb. They kept Australia out in the field a long time. They grounded them away. It's the first thing in the first test match. They should bat as long as they needed to. And it was a bit slow. Not really. It's still, if Australia get 280 all out today and then forced to go back into battle or whatever, it's going to be well and truly in Pakistan's favour. So I'm not worried about that at this stage. It's more the second innings, which is the Australian innings, which is important as to how they bat. But quite frankly, I think Pakistan batted superbly. Slow, well, they may have gone another 100 runs, but I don't think that's going to make a difference to the match at all. 4 for 470, that's just phenomenal play. Brilliant. All right, so we now are looking at effectively 4 minutes before the game starts. That's what they're saying. What about Vihari at number 3? Well, he's been given the opportunity. They won't get rid of him quickly. He'll be there for a while. He deserves the chance. They want a Pujara like batter, which is a bit younger, fresher legs. So Vihari's been given the nod. Congratulations. They've still got Gill, you've got Prithvi Shaw, you've got Rahul all there, either to come back or in the wing. So a bit of pressure on him, but it's all right. Why Adam Zampa didn't play a test, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, Coach. In fact, I think he should be ahead of anyone behind Lyon. How do you rate Pat Cummins amongst the captains of the captain Kangaroos? No, I think he's a good person. He's a good man. He's calming influence, but he's not the best captain. He's way out of his depth, really. Compare him to a Border, a Steve Waugh, a Mark Taylor. You can't. Weather looks promising. That's good. I mean, what do you mean? Is it they should be out in the field now? Now, why do you think Agar is a test quality bowler, averaging 42 on shield and sweeps? I wouldn't take that into account. I think the way that they bowl suits test cricket, and I'm arguing there for Agar. Swepson, very overrated. What's the temperature currently in Pakistan? Well, it was pretty cool, even though it's saying it's not as hot as it normally you'd think it would be. Okay. We have 2 minutes before the play starting effectively in between Australia and Pakistan. I've heard no other reports to say otherwise. Unless it's raining, they should be starting. Not even any murmuring there of any commentary. They're saying there's watery sunshine, general overcast, floodlit lights are off though. Rain expected around 2 p.m, which is not now. Good news is not so good news. Okay. So what are they saying? They're saying that they should be ready to play. That was at 9:35 in the morning, which is 13 minutes ago. What's the temperature? The temperature is cool. It's watery sunshine, whatever that means. Your predictions for the WCC finals. Faith, I talked about this earlier. I think India and Australia are the two that I would pick at this point. That's what my selections at this early stage. Okay. What's happening with this match? Why aren't we getting a start? By my counts, we should be starting in 1 minute. Well, normally it started in 11 minutes, but they brought 10 minutes forward, which means they should have started by now. And there's no evidence at all, unless they got the pitch covered. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. Let's have a look. Here we go. They're on the field and they're ready to play. Australia, Pakistan. Nazim Shah, the youngster, aged 19. He already played 10 matches for his country, taking 20 wickets. He bowled well in Australia, actually. I think it was in Australia. He bowled well earlier on there. So he's in there. He's coming on the bowl now, the first over of the day. So Shaheen Afridi, I'm guessing, will be the other end. So we are starting. They're all on there, ready to go. The coverage is here. And looks like Khawaja's facing. Oh, Khawaja, we'll wait and see. I think it's Khawaja who's facing the first ball. Alim Dar. Well, what a legend he is. Nazim was 16 when he debuted against Australia. That's correct. Am I streaming for much long, Paul? Probably another 25 minutes, I reckon. 1.5 hours I normally go for. So let's see. Pakistan about to bowl. The first delivery of the morning, Nazim, who was playing in Australia, was a damn good bowler there. Career end for Rory. Oh no, what do you think? No, we can't say that. Career ending? I don't think so. A bit premature to say that. Here we go. Nazim coming in the bowl. The first delivery of the morning, third day's play. Very good delivery. Went very close to Dumpster. It was a good clip too. And Khawaja, speed 142.2 for the first delivery of the morning. Pretty impressive. And the ball certainly seemed to nip off the pitch there. More than what the Australians were doing. Maybe start maybe in that similar pace, but very impressive start. This young kid, 142 off his first delivery. It's pretty impressive. Khawaja's 5 or 5. Warner has not scored a run. He's placed 2 balls. Azim's coming in to bowl his second delivery of the morning. Oh, that went the other way. They went the other way. It seemed to dart away from the batsman. Very impressive start, these first deliveries. So we'll be under the pump this morning. I certainly will, Paul. Hugely under the pump. I talk about IPL career end. I don't think it's an IPL end career. IPL for this season, perhaps. But no, I think overall, if he's good enough, he'll get selected. If he's had bubble fatigue, that's what the reason is, isn't it? It was a bit wider. The Pakistan are very jumpy in the field there. So we'll certainly going to start there. We can play 10-day test here. You certainly can. I love the comments I'm getting. There's some very funny comments. You can play 10 days' work for cricket. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Nazim coming in again. His first 2 balls were bottlers. The next couple were a bit wayward. India versus Pakistan in the women's cricket certainly should be centre stage, shouldn't it? Let's have a look here. Azim Shah. First class kid, 23 with 70 wickets. Ooh, bowling well, bowling very well. But Roy knows about Bob Bobble before auction, putting his name in auction. Well, look, he's taken a family decision, I'm assuming. I respect him for that. Yeah, so let's look what's happening in the world of cricket now. We've got Australia starting off now, as we know. India, Sri Lanka have still not lost a wicket. They're 4 for 158. Pakistan have not resumed in the World Cup match either. It was a very good clip, 142 kilometres per hour there, and I seem bowling quite pacey. Norman Q. One question, okay. Doing well in Shield, that's why he's in this. Yeah, he's doing well, but I don't think he's a test bowler. And I don't think he's a test bowler. And he's had that stress factor with upper neck. He's a bit risky to be running. And then he obviously is not an automatic choice. I'm pretty sure that Ashton Agar will be the one chosen. Nazim Shah bowled a very good first over, but well played by Khawaja at the same time. Very patient from Khawaja. There's the right level of patience, isn't there? From Granada. Yes, so Yeah, in the Pakistan, I mean, Shafiq got 44, Imam Al Haq got 157, Azhar Ali got 185, some fantastic batting there. Bubba was run out for 36, Rizwan 29 not out, and Iftikhar 13, so pretty reasonable effort towards the end there, but they really did score a good 4 for 476. Bumrah's no ball saved Nishanka, they did. They're all wearing black armbands. I'm assuming they were yesterday. Whether they are today, I'm assuming they will continue to wear that. It doesn't look like the Pakistani players have got armbands. It may, and all the Australians seem to, yes. But I don't think it's disrespectful if they're not wearing it today because they wore it yesterday. That was the day that Warren's passing was announced, and they respected that. I don't think they wear it indefinitely. Australia might. They may have an obligation to, but other countries don't. They've done it yesterday, which was respectable. Well, in Queensland, Matt Kuhlman still bowling over 30. He took 29 wickets. 8 shot match, and he is a better left-arm spinner than Agar. Well, I don't know much about him, so I can't comment, but that may well be the case. But Agar's been in that Australian lineup for a while now, and that experience is sometimes more important. So you can have very good shield scores and push your way towards Australian selection, but you've got to do it at the next level. And Agar has been doing that in the short format for Australia quite well, and at BBL level and the like. So I think that's the reason. And he has played a test match. He scored 99 in the batting. That was a few years back in a national series. So he's the second bowler. Here we have Warren facing his first over. Oh, what happened there? That kept low, and Jesus, it hit something and just went off the pitch. It just hit a crack or something. So I'm going to be on for another 15 minutes, guys. We'll see the start of this Khawaja-Warner batting against the Nazim Shaheen attack, and I would have loved to have seen Harris Ralph. I'm so saddened by the fact that he had his opportunity, the door opened and it closed due to COVID. So much time. This is not a sporting wicket, absolutely flat deck. Well, fair enough. That's a Pakistani wicket for you. That's the way it is. Oh, great delivery. In fact, they're all beautiful delivery. Beautiful delivery to Warren. Warren went straight through him, and they're thinking about a nick. They're not calling it. Pakistan are all over Australia like a rash at the moment. There's a lot of noise going on. Any of Australia in 22 or 20, is there a matches in 22? I believe. May not be. I'm not sure whether they're tests. India versus Australia last series is in 2023. It's a test series, okay. But there might be some shorter format matches this year, I think. If that Indian series isn't on next year, I'll definitely go with that. Toss is crucial in Asia, right? Tabashis Mahanti, when is this India versus Australia test series in 2023? What time of the year? Please let me know. Is it later in the year or early in the year? Warner's got away with that. Ooh, fairly loose. It was not near the fieldsman though, but Khawaja's got a 4 now. Warner's got a 4. Rather cagey. It wasn't his usual emphatic ball that he would hit through point. It was more of a cagey dab. Have a quick look at something here. That's not high enough on the list, is it? No. Yes. Okay. Just updating that. So look at this match between Australia and Warner's being beaten quite. Hit the 1-4, which was a bit streaky. Otherwise, didn't score any runs. So none for 10 after 3 overs. That last ball, he was nowhere near the bat. but he's playing and missing quite significantly. And Warner and Shaheen are having a bit of a chat. They look like they both are laughing though. There's cheeky laughter, I'm assuming. A bit of cheek, but I'm sure they're good banter. Shaheen Afridi looks great. Great long-term prospect there for Pakistan. Good on him. Nazim's getting a fair bit of bite and movement on his leverage and a fair bit of carry. It's impressive. So Australia 1 for 10. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened so far. I'll go into the 15 minutes, guys. Yeah, the first looking day trip, it's a fair bit of cracking. I would argue. And Khawaja's did a beautiful off drive, beautifully timed, eloquently played, effortless. He is ready-made for these pitches, let's be honest. He's ready-made for these pitches. Magnificent. Khawaja's the danger, in my opinion. Warner's going to scratch around. If he gets away with it, he might continue. But so Neil, you predicted Australia will all out under 300. Let's see who you also predicted Australia will struggle in the T20 World Cup. But Australia will win the World Cup easily, and your predictions reach to England. But okay, but all right, Tabashis, you're making a point, but I can have my opinion. 5th down for Sri Lanka. Oh, hello, we've got a 5th wicket down there for Sri Lanka. It was rather full. It's gone leg side. So Indian women, Pakistan none for 5 there. Yeah, and Sri Lanka now 5 down. They've got Sri Lanka's just gotten out. Sri Lanka was LBW Bumrah for 29. Sri Lanka's on 50, so they're 5 for 161. Still 430 in arrears with only 5 wickets left. Is it now? Who's coming into bat now? It's not. It should be right. Nice and Dickwell, I think, or is it not? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's Norris and Dickwell coming into bat. Oh, what's that? Isman will top the score, perhaps. Oh, I think so. He looks very effortless in the way he's batting. Indeed. Let's have a little look at good old Norris and Dickwell coming into bat. Bumrah's been rather quiet. It's taken this wicket though. It's got him early though. Let's see how we go. All the economy rates are below 3. Bumrah 2, Ashwin 2, Jadeja 1. Shami and Jad hasn't taken wickets. Let's see the replay now. It was actually a slower ball. It actually spun. It actually spun. Punt reckon was too high, but they went for it, and he was bang on right, impacted line, hitting wickets out. Wasn't too high. Railways and punt were doubtful, but I think Bumrah persisted. Well persisted. Bumrah decided that, and he was right. Morrison Dickwell at the one striker's end. Nishantha Sanka, sorry, is on 59, 5 for 61. Sri Lanka, they'll barely get 100 odd runs, unless these two are the last two that can really be recognised to do well. Beyond these two, there's not much happening after this. Okay. This giant looks almost like Axar Patel, doesn't he? Yeah, Bashir Mahathir. I know we've been following that Australian for 14. Exactly. A couple of one beautiful 4 by Khawaja and a rather streaky one by Warner. I think there's more top score. So Norwich and Dickwell, 46 test matches, a batting average of 32.5, not to be sneezed at. Well over 2,000 test runs, but hasn't scored a century. I mean, he's a prolific century scorer as a young kid. At school age, at first class age, he was scoring. I think one this season he scored 14 centuries, something outrageous. And here he is now, batting at 5 down when he could open. And I'm in the short form, I'm in the long format too. His first ever test innings, he got 70 odd, I think, maybe even 80 odd, one of his highest. Good old Ross and Dickwell. And he tries to sweep the first ball, almost got LBW off Jadeja. A little bit too, you got to play the ball in there. That was a bit too aggressive. First ball, there was a clear attempt at sweeping on the stumps, and I'm surprised they didn't appeal. It was off the glove, actually, so no, no pad involved. Shane Warne scored the most test runs without a penalty, apparently. That's true. I'll tell you what, Narosh and Dickwell is getting close. I'll tell you that now. Getting close. Certainly is getting close. Narosh and Dickwell off the mark first, second ball. He still looks like a kid. I think he's 20, 28, 29. He looks like a kid. A bit like the Malaysian women's cricket captain, Winifred Dorsami, who I manage. She looks 12, but she's 29. Doesn't look, looks of Russian Dickwell, skin colour, darkish, keeps her looks very youthful, very diminutive size, fit, looks very young, but is in fact 29. Lakmal and Baldinia, Vishwa and Kumara, only the 4 bowlers to come, so this partnership is it. Nasanka and Dickwell are the last 2 recognised batsmen in the side, so yeah. Former spinner Hafiz is not happy with the pitch. Oh, well, why is he saying? She's like, well, that's his problem. I think the pitch, same for both teams, I wouldn't be complaining. So, let's have a look here. So let's look at this. Khawaja's on 10, Warne on 4, Shaheen and Nassim are the 2 bowlers that bowled this morning. I was remember when Warne was caught out off the Tories bowling. I think it was by Richardson, Mark Richardson. I think it was. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Going for the glory shot when he could just dabbed it for a single. Oh my God, what happened there? That was an outrageous Yorker. And no one's saying to go upstairs and saying it's leg side. Okay. Russian Dickwell's gone 2 balls where he could have been trapped LBW. Also, no ball when he got caught. And they didn't know that at the time. Last series for, I think he's actually called he hit the bat. No pad at all on that shot. Hit the bat. How's he going to hit the bat in both cases? A bat and glove. Silly. Come on, Russian, get your act together. A lot of Yorkers going on there. Russian Dickwell's a much better bat than he's showing form here now, I'll tell you. Okay, guys. 1:30, which is another 7 minutes up. Not 1:30, 1.5 hours up. We're going to let you guys watch freely and not have to listen to me talk. I'll come back post-match. All right. So done for 18 with Warne on 4 and Khawaja on 11. And Russian Dickwell will come back to on. Your prediction for both the ongoing test series here. 1-1, Pakistan will win this match, the next match. I think it's this match. They'll 1-1 with a draw at the last match. It'll be a great series. Although Norman needs a rest. Catch you later. I think I have to do the same, Paul. I'm going to be very close to going in another 5 minutes, so I'll go not long after Paul. So don't forget to view, like, and share the post. Subscribe. Hit the notification button at Norm Koch is my Instagram and my Twitter. I've got Facebook and LinkedIn under my full name. Ooh, not much footwork going on there from Russian Dickweller at all. Australia none for 18 and Sri Lanka 5 for 163. Sri Lanka. And one of these two get out, we're going to see them batting again very soon. All right. So therefore, I'm still predicting Australia 280. I'm not so wicked yet, but I don't know. It's just a bit of luck their way. Won't go Australia. They're saying there's more dangerous weather for New South Wales where I am here. Okay. All right, guys. Bumrah coming in the bowl too. A very, very solid Nasanka. Indeed, very, very solid. Extremely solid. All right, guys. So we've got a few minutes left before I go. Any questions you underestimate Australia? I'm underestimating. I'm trying to be harder because they deserve it. They haven't had any match practice. Row at 140, and teams have traditionally last few series not done well in the first match because they haven't had any match practice. Full toss from Bumrah's trying to bowl Yorkers every ball. Nelson Dickwell's on 2. Nasanka on 51. Scores 5 for 164, showing the Pakistani crowd there. It's quite nice. Australia in their match against Pakistan. And none for 22. Khawaja is moving on to 15. Jadeja is coming in the bowl. It's an option Dickwell. Dickwell is trying to sweep the very first ball. Again, the first ball is over. He's trying to sweep. And he is a good sweeper, by the way, but he's perhaps a bit too overly keen. Pakistan, Shaheen and Naseem is both bowling quite well, actually. Ross Dickwell looks very rusty when he bats, I tell you. As does Warner a little bit as well. So what game? Okay, again, I'm predicting Australia 280, and I'm predicting that Sri Lanka will be forced to follow on in their innings because they're 5 164 at the moment. Fairly ordinary scores. And then, oh my God, is he out? Oh my God. What was that about? That was an atrocious shot from the Russian Dickwella. He tried to play what looked like a sweep, and he just popped it up. Oh, disgusting batting from Russian Dickwella. Very, very out of form indeed. I don't know what he was trying to do. See a replay of that shot. He's been trying to sweep. He done it again. He's got the top edge. It's just flowing up there. Useless shot. Why doesn't he play conventional? It's gone on Shreyas Iyer caught. Very poppy to the catch. And that's in a Russian Dickwella. For a measly 2. That's 6 for 164. They're in deep trouble. They've got only bowlers left. They'll be in bat again very soon. And this is going to be probably finished today the way it's going. Awful. Awful. Finn is afraid from Wade. Well, that was the short form of the game, not the long form. So I don't think there's any issue there. Yeah, very disappointing. Russian Dickwell looked all out of sorts to me. All out of sorts. So, guys, I'm going to end up now. We've got the match here. Pakistan will fall for 476 declared. Australia currently none for 26 with Warner on 4 and Khawaja on 19. Sri Lanka in dire straits 6 164 with Russian Dickwell just getting out there for 2. Luckman on bat now. Sanka, he's got 51. He's the only saving grace, and otherwise they're in a bit of a mess as well. So, yeah. All right, guys. We'll go. So, view, like, and share the post. Subscribe away. Let's see you all post-game. Hopefully, we've got a bit to talk about in terms of how well or not well the Australian team batted. There's a fair bit of lift coming. Warner's having some real problems out there. Shane Bollerbor's had a fair bit on it. He didn't like it. All right, guys. All the best. Talk to you soon.